You sit down, read through a difficult lesson, and everything clicks. You understand the material completely and close the book feeling entirely confident. Then, 3 days later, you try to recall that same information, and your mind is completely blank. The facts have vanished. The immediate reaction for most of us is quiet panic. We assume we have a terrible memory, or that our brains are simply and completely incapable of grasping the subject. This rapid decay is actually independent of your intelligence. Your brain is executing a highly specific biological protocol, operating exactly as it was built to function. Every single day, your nervous system processes a massive volume of sensory data. From the conversations you hear to the media you consume, your brain is constantly taking in new inputs. Retaining a permanent record of every minor detail would cause the entire system to catastrophically overload. To prevent this, your brain employs forgetting as an active filtration system. It constantly evaluates incoming data and aggressively sweeps away anything it deems unused to free up cognitive space. This erasure is a vital survival mechanic. To keep specific information, we must deliberately trigger the brain's internal signaling system to mark that data as essential for long-term storage. Over a century ago, a scientist named Hermann Ebbinghaus set out to measure exactly how this memory loss occurs. By tracking his own ability to memorize lists of syllables, he discovered that memory decay operates on a predictable mathematical schedule. This diagram illustrates his core finding, known as the forgetting curve. It shows that if you learn something new right now, your retention plummets within the first 24 hours. Without further intervention, the brain identifies the new information as garbage. Over the next week, the retention line flatlines near zero as the data is discarded. The neurological algorithm follows a strict rule. Memory retention is a use-it-or-lose-it operation. We can hack this algorithm by using a method called spaced repetition. Reviewing material at strategic intervals changes the math. By intervening after 1 day, then 1 week, and then 1 month, you interrupt the natural decay process just before the memory is lost, resetting your attention to 100%. Each spaced intervention forces the brain to adapt by physically thickening neural connections. This creates a learning curve, where the subsequent drop-off becomes shallower and flatter until the information is secured permanently. This mirrors the physical process of learning to ride a bicycle. You wobble and fall repeatedly in the early stages as your brain attempts to calibrate the necessary muscle movements. Permanent memory requires that same initial friction. It takes early failures and repeated, spaced corrections for a difficult task to eventually feel natural. Since passive reading fails to signal importance to the brain, we must engage in active behaviors that force the mind to work harder. Frequent self-testing serves as a primary trigger. Quizzing yourself forces the brain to actively retrieve data, which strengthens the mental pathway. Teaching the material to someone else offers a second level of reinforcement. Translating complex ideas into your own words secures the information through deeper comprehension. Proper sleep provides the necessary biological downtime for the brain to physically consolidate and store these new memories. Finally, breaking study sessions into small, daily chunks creates a consistent pattern of retrieval, far outperforming a single 6-hour cramming session. Long-term retention is the inevitable result of applying these specific, mechanical triggers to the brain. Forgetting is a normal part of your internal filtration system. Every mistake made while trying to recall a fact is a signal that your brain is building new, physical connections. Signaling importance is how systems prioritize information. If you found this explanation valuable, hitting like and subscribing tells the YouTube algorithm this content is worth saving and sharing. Comment below on which concept we should break down next to keep this connection strong.